everybody, you have the Penguin here, and as always, you have my sidekick, Sigma. And we're doing episode 9 tonight. Episode 9. Does it feel like 9 episodes?
Not really.
Well, I mean, technically should be 10, but, you know, we had that faux pas because
we had that, you know.
Technical difficulty.
Technical difficulty as in you just...
So how's the last week been for you?
Oh, it's been good. It's,
Yeah?
went to a concert recently.
Went to a concert? Who'd you see?
I'm trying to remember every band that was on there. The Soulblind was the main act. Shoegaze grunge sort of band.
All right.
You had the band that I saw last time, Eyewash.
Okay.
You had a thing called I can't remember what they're called.
You know, that's just some just weird names for bands.
Yeah. Did you want to hear a weird one? I believe this one was called Rex Tycoon.
Rex Tycoon.
Yes. That or Wax. I couldn't really hear that very well.
Not related to Battle Axe.
No.
Okay. So how was the show?
It was very good. There were a lot of mosh pits.
Mosh pits?
Which I found myself either stuck in or starting.
Why, I wonder why there were no mosh pits at the, Soft Cult concerts.
I have no idea. Probably a different vibe because this one was like one of those DIY event, like part of the venue where it literally didn't have a stage. People were just on the ground. We were eye level with the musicians.
Right that way a little bit. A little more. A little more. All right.
And I'm saying camera's turning, but yeah, it was definitely one of those.
So the camera's turned a lot more.
Yeah. I'm telling you, a wizard is doing this.
All right. So I know the Soft Cult wasn't there, but were they as good as Soft Cult, the bands, or?
Yeah, they were pretty good. I never expected a mosh pit to start at a shoegaze concert, but then again, shoegaze, when everyone thinks of that genre, they're just like, oh, boring, slow, dream pop looking at the floor, considering the fact that's how the term shoegaze came from, is
right.
The people would look at their pedalboard. But it has like dream pop, it's synthwave, it's post pop punk and grunge, and it could be anything. Sometimes there's black metal involved in it, so like.
All right, black metal.
It's like blackened gaze. Not bad.
All right. There's just too many. I mean, growing up, you had metal, and then my era saw the origin of speed metal,
which is now called thrash metal. We
right, but I'm saying that was it. I mean, that was it for the longest time. And now you have, what, 50 genres of metal?
About that.
I mean, it's freaking crazy. Not a whole lot going on in the world today. Well, I say not a whole lot going on in the world. Not a whole lot going on in the world that I care about. You know, can you believe that it's been almost 2 years for the Ukraine war?
Yeah, I remember when that actually started.
Yeah, we're still in Lindora.
Yeah, I was working. I was working, had nothing to do. I didn't bring a book. So.
Oh, you're still at the school?
Yeah.
I thought I was in the hospital when that started.
I was still in the school when I was still working at the school when it started.
Wow.
I was just sitting there at the desk, and the one of the front desk ladies, I can't remember her name, she brought me the paper, and I'm like, yeah, sure. I got nothing to do. And I read it, and it's Ukraine attacked by Russia. I'm like, I saw this coming from a mile away. I just didn't think it'd start this soon.
Well, I mean, Trump saw it coming and told Russia, not on my watch. So they didn't. They waited till he was out of office. It wasn't long after he was out of office. And they started. So, I mean, I don't know.
I think it was going to happen anyway. I don't. Let's just say Trump stayed in office. I don't think there was anything that could have actually stopped Russia from attacking. Because Putin, he does what he wants. He doesn't, you know.
Well, but I'm going to kind of disagree. Putin was afraid of Trump. You know why? Because Putin didn't know what Trump was going to do. Most presidents are pretty predictable, and Trump was not predictable.
Well, he wasn't, but I still think Putin is that crazy.
Well, he may be. I mean,
I think the war it was inevitable. It's just I think maybe under a second Trump presidency, it would have happened maybe a month to a year later rather than
maybe.
Right then. So it would have happened regardless.
You didn't bring your headphones, did you?
I did not bring my headphones. I forgot.
I'm gonna put mine on just to see if we hear any popping.
Yeah, I forgot to bring my headphones. Sorry.
And as of right now, we do not have any popping. That is good. That is good.
But yeah.
I don't know. I just mentioned this to you. We may incorporate for like on nights like tonight when the show's not going to have a whole lot of substance to it. Some dad jokes. Oh God. Hey, Sugar Bridget. Hey, baby. I think that'll be cool.
That would be something.
That'll be something. Yeah.
That would be something.
That'll be something. So I picked up a few headlines. The first one comes out of Lincoln, Nebraska.
What's Nebraska?
Lincoln, Nebraska. And the headline reads, Nebraska woman accused of using pump glitch to get $27,000 worth of gas. Dawn Thompson, 45, allegedly pumped an estimated 7,413 gallons of gas at a pump and pantry station over a 6-month period. She's facing felony theft. She took advantage of it. Basically, it says that it was all in how that they put in their Advantage card. Like she put it in, pulled out when it said enter your credit card. She put the Advantage card back in, and it somehow went into demo mode and started pumping again. So that's kind of a weird thing. But she so the glitch allowed people to use their reward card instead of a debit or credit card. If the reward card was swiped twice, the pump switched into a demo mode and let a customer pump free gas. And she wasn't stingy. Basically, she was giving all her friends free gas. So I hope they were like really good friends, because you know that's $27,000 worth of gas. But she was released on a $7,500 bond, and she's going to court in April. I mean, I can't help but wonder, how did she get caught?
Yeah, that's how would you get caught for something like that?
I don't know if I would have done that for my friends for fear of them ratting me out, or them finding out, or them getting caught and ratting me out. You know, well, we'll let you go if you tell us who, you know, how'd you do this? Who told you about this?
Every time. See, for me, I wouldn't have told my friends. I would have only allowed them to get free gas if they were with me. I'd be like, okay.
Well, I'm sure she didn't give them the card. I mean, that would have been. I think that's kind of given that they were with her, and maybe she was appearing on camera too much, and that they saw her in and out of the store too much, because they're thinking, where's she going that she's going through this much gas? I mean, 7,000 gallons of gas is a lot of gas.
It will fill up a tank in the half.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know. Average tank's probably 30 gallons, so 3 and a 7, 23 and a third times. That's 230 tank fulls over a 6-month period. That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot. So the Mega Millions. will reach 977 million since nobody won Tuesday night. Tuesday night's numbers were 24, 46, 49, 62, and 66. And the gold mega ball was 7. And the estimated jackpot was 893 million, with a cash prize of 421 million. And the cash prize for Friday's drawing is 461 million. It's going to be approaching $1 billion. Now, they said that 5 times the Mega Millions has gone over $1 billion. Each time it was in a different state. But I remember when we lived in Florida, the Powerball went over $1 million. Not million, billion. The Powerball went over $1 billion. So that's the odds of winning any lottery jackpot are slim. Mega Million players have a 1 in 302 million chance of taking home the top prize. Well, you know, if I was made of money, I'd buy 302 million tickets. Your payout's 3 times that.
Yeah, one of them's bound to be, right?
Or at least, I mean, you may win money because, like, you don't have to hit all 6 numbers to win. You know, if you hit 5 numbers, or you know, you might win even if you don't get the bonus ball. Or if you get the bonus ball, you win a couple of bucks. So, I mean, that's crazy.
I mean, there was a meme going around, a photo meme going around where someone had their numbers, and the numbers that were shown on screen were literally 1 number lower than the guy had. If he had a 7, it was a 6. He had an 8, it was a 7.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I don't.
That is the
I
most.
just don't necessarily believe stuff like that because, you know, you can do anything and create anything on the internet. You know what I mean? You can create anything and make anything say anything you want on the internet, especially if you're like me and you have your own web server.
Yeah, but for me, I'm like, I can see that happening though. I can see someone getting this close to it and just it's so far.
I mean, but if that's true, I would have been suicidal over something like that. You know what I mean? It would have been like, you know, yeah. So here's a job that I want.
Oh no.
Applications for Antarctica's Penguin Post Office is open. But here's the kick. They're only taking 5 people from the UK. And it runs from November until, like, I think it's April. Why is it only the UK? It says applicants will have opened to work at Antarctica's famous Penguin Post Office, but successful applicants will need to put up with the smell of penguin poo. I don't know what penguin poo smells like. Shop is in Port Lockroy in the southernmost post office in the world, and 3 positions are available exclusively for UK residents. It's going to work starting in November and ending in March of 2025. The historic site receives about 18,000 visitors every year, and successful applicants will need to welcome them to the island, as well as processing up to 80,000 letters and postcards. So, I would say that all that doesn't come from those 18,000 people because there's actually people who work. I mean, there's bases and stuff. There's all kind of stuff down in Antarctica. Let's see what other positions available from general assistant, shop manager, and base leader. Salaries ranging from £1,375 to £1,985 per month. Must be prepared to share a room with 5 other people for extended periods of time without phone or internet and up to 2 weeks without showering because there's no running water. We have no running water on the island, so washing facilities are very basic and water is collected in jerry cans from visiting ships. Let's see, visiting ships will offer showers approximately once per week, but when weather conditions are poor, you can go up to 2 weeks without visitors or a shower. So I don't know. I mean, the applicants warn prospective. The application warns prospective applicants must be physically and mentally fit. I'd be mentally fit for that. Physically fit, no. But
I am probably physically fit. Mentally, no.
Well, the sad part is the application is already closed on Monday. the 18th. So I guess I'm not going to Antarctica.
That would be a fun place to go to.
Okay,
Just
let's
to
see. Next, we're going to be talking about the Stanley Cup. So how many teams make the Stanley Cup playoffs? It's 8 from each division, or 8 from each conference, excuse me.
There's
Top 3 teams from each division are guaranteed a playoff spot, along with the top 2 teams from either division as wild cards. Okay? But I have this list here. Guess who's not on it?
I wonder. Could it be the Penguins?
Yeah. The Penguins, I think they've seen their playoff odds hit an all-time new low, especially after their brutal loss to the New Jersey Devils.
That was bad.
But the Penguins plan on fighting tooth or nail until they're mathematically eliminated. Well, they're pretty much down now. They have about a 2% chance of making it.
If they make it, then I'm sure they'll win. Because if you can make it with a 2% chance.
See, here's the thing. They have 14 games remaining. They have to win all 14 games because they're 7 points out.
That's gonna happen.
Okay, so if you... And everybody else has to lose ahead of them. You know what I mean? Because every time you win and a team above you loses, you pick up 2 points. So 14 games, they're 7 points out. So, if you do...
I think they'll probably win 3.
Well...
The 3 at the 14.
Probably, that's about right. Of course,
4
as long as they leave Jari in the net, they're going to lose. I don't understand... Nedeljkovic has fantastic games, and he wins. He doesn't start the next game. Sullivan takes him out. But Jari can lose 20 games in a row, and he keeps him in there. I don't understand. He is one of the worst goalies, and they talk him up during the game. Oh, fantastic save. Nobody could have made that but Jari. He is one of the worst goalies in the entire league.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's worse than Michel Dion was back in the 80s, and he was pathetic. I mean... It's just, I told Mom, I don't even enjoy watching them play anymore. Even when they win, I don't enjoy it anymore because of poor coaching. I mean, yeah, and now they probably won't get rid of Sullivan because he's slated to coach the Winter Olympics in 2026. The U.S. team. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand. I mean,
it's, yeah.
Why?
Why do you think I don't really root for the Penguins anymore?
Well, but it's not even a case of rooting for the Penguins, man. It's just a case of why. At least it's not like the Steelers. And when I say that, I mean this. The NHL draft is a lottery system, okay? So basically your name gets drawn what order you appear in the draft. Well, like the NFL... Your draft appearance has to do with how you finished the previous season. So whoever wins the Super Bowl, unless they made some trades, will be drafting last. So what the town of Pittsburgh is sick and tired of is Pittsburgh either just missing the playoffs or making the playoffs and losing in the first round. So they're down low in the draft picks. I mean, if you're going to make it to the playoffs, you need to win it all. Now, I don't know what this next season's going to bring because they picked up 2 quarterbacks. Released Kenny Pickett, released, what's his name, Trubisky. They picked up Russell Wilson, he was playing for Denver, but he won the Super Bowl, and I think it was 2010 or 11 with the Seattle Seahawks.
It was 11.
So I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for the Steelers, but the town of Pittsburgh is in trouble. Mm-hmm. And then they're talking about getting a NBA team here. I tell you what I would like to see. Not the last Penguins game, the game before that, they had 8,500 people in the stadium for a women's professional hockey league game between 2 Canadian teams, and they still had 8,500 people in there. I would like to see women's hockey come to Pittsburgh before I would like NBA or WNBA or any NBA, any basketball. This city won't support it because of hockey. because basketball's in the winter and they just won't support it. I mean, in my opinion, they won't support any other winter sport unless it's something like that. Women's hockey, I think that would be a definitely a bonus or a good addition to Pittsburgh sports.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I tell you what I see going, and maybe already, I don't know, going professional before too long, and that's volleyball, women's volleyball.
I can see it.
Because, like, the Pitt Panthers, I mean, they made it to the Final Four, but, I mean, they're watching the Ben Roethlisberger, his podcast. It's a pretty big deal. I mean, the arena down there was selling out for, girls NCAA volleyball. I mean, it may be professional already. I don't know. I don't know, but I would like to see women's hockey come to the Berg. I really would. I think that'd be an addition, and it would. A lot of colleges have women's hockey teams already, and that would just do wonders for that. I mean, hey, Callie Jane. That's Callie Jane. Can you see her?
No, you can't.
There she is. That's my Callie Jane. That's my sweet baby girl.
Mine is somewhere.
So I don't know. I don't know. I don't want basketball to come to the city though, because with basketball comes crime. I mean, think about how many sports have you seen where they burn cities and catch stuff on fire just because their team didn't win, or even if their team wins. Look up in Chicago, man. Chicago, when the Bulls are winning, they would literally light the town on fire. Vandalism, looting. There's just too much crime that comes with basketball.
Yeah. But it's like there was a thing with the NHL where there were riots in the streets and stuff, but I'm like,
well, that was like Canada, wasn't it?
That wasn't just Canada.
Because I didn't hear anything. I mean, all I heard was up in Toronto, I think it was.
This was a few years ago. It was between, I can't remember who it was, but there were riots in both cities. Buildings literally burning. And I can't remember the teams. I know it was a Canadian team and it was an American team. But I can't remember the names of the teams right now.
Was it like the Stanley Cup or?
It was like towards. It was. I think it was the playoffs. It was either off season or just the playoffs. Like no one.
I mean, it just doesn't make sense to why you have to react like that. I mean, I'm not going to say much more about it because then I don't want to be accused of being racial or anything like that. But that's what it comes down to. It's like, certain people just need a reason to steal and a reason to have violence and stuff like that. And it's crazy. It destroys a good thing. Your team just won the NBA Finals. Oh, let's just catch this police car on fire. Let's catch this on fire. Let's catch this on fire. There's no sense of there's no reason.
I think they would do that anyway. It's just they're using that as an excuse.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And I don't think it's a good idea.
The whole city just uses it as an excuse. It's like, I don't understand that.
Well, I think
if you're going to burn a city like that, at least let it be for a good reason.
I don't know if there are like contracts. Let's just say an NBA team came to the city and they had to keep it for 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's any longevity contract, but I guarantee you when that time period's up, the city will be doing anything they can to sell the team. I mean, the city just does not need that. Pittsburgh has finally turned themselves into a nice city. You know what I mean? It's clean. I mean, when Mom and I were driving, and we were for Grubhub, and we would go down into the city, it's clean enough I ever remember it in my life. I mean, it's changed. I mean, the whole demeanor has changed in the city. People are happy. Instead of walking around, crime is lower than it ever has been. I mean, it's not a bad place anymore. And I think that would be destroyed if they got a team. they got an NBA team. I just don't. I mean, and then you have to, where would they play? Well, the only place for them to play is in PPG Arena. So that means you'd have to schedule around hockey. So that means times would be way different. You know, you may have games starting during the week at 3 or 4 in the afternoon, so it can be done before the NBA game. I mean, there's just a lot of, we complained about them starting so late when Pittsburgh was out on the West Coast, starting at 9 and 10 o'clock for almost a week straight. It'd be worse than that. It would be bad. Yeah. I mean, it would be bad.
It's unless they find space for another arena.
They're not going to put that kind of money into it. But then again, if they're trying to get an NBA team here, they may build something, a sports house or whatever, a complex, just to entice them coming in. I just don't think that people really want that. And, I don't think that, I guess it may get voted in. I don't know.
It's not going to happen. If it happens, it'll only go for like a year or so.
Well, but again, unless there's a contract, they have to live out the contract, or the team just folds. I don't know what would happen, but I don't know. Again, short program. We're about 26 minutes in, and we're going to go straight into
Would You Rather.
Straight into Would You Rather. All right, welcome to Would You Rather. So, would you rather go on the best date ever once, or a bunch of better than average dates?
I think I'd have to go with the better than average dates because you get more.
Right? And that this isn't even saying with the same person, so I don't know. I mean, I've had dates I thought were the best ever dates, and I've had a bunch of better than average dates. So I don't know. I would probably have to say that too, better than average dates.
Yeah,
just like you said, because you're going to go more, you're going to do more.
It's like obviously if they're talking about with the same person,
right? Yeah,
but if it's with different people, then I'd rather choose the first one. But
all right,
we're saying same person.
Number 2. Would you rather never age physically or never age mentally? That kind of coincides with the question we had a couple weeks ago.
Never age physically.
Really?
Yeah.
So you want to live forever? Can I take part of each? I mean,
right.
I guess I don't want my mind to go more than what it already has. I mean, that's just, I don't know. That's just me, I guess, but I want to keep my mind intact. So I'm going to have to say never age mentally. All right, number 3. Would you rather have to pass out at 9:30 every night or fall asleep at 3:30 a.m. every night?
3:30 a.m. every night. I'm already there.
I was about to say you are pretty much there.
I'm already there.
I mean, and there's no in between, so I don't, because it says that no in between.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to sleep at 9:30 every night. I might be in the middle of watching some on TV or having an epiphany or something.
Oh, it's like, does that say like 9:30 on the dot? You're like, well, time to go to bed, or is it literally?
No, it says you pass out at 9:30.
Yeah, you're like, it's 9:30. You're just out with your friends at 9:30.
Yeah, it's like narcolepsy.
Yeah.
Hey, it's my shot. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one.
3:30, definitely 3.
All right, number 4. Would you rather have to watch only Friends reruns or only The Office reruns for the next year?
Oh, come off it. Okay. I like both shows. That's the problem. That's tough.
I'm gonna say Friends. I'm just not a big fan of The Office.
I might have to go for Friends. Now, if they said the British version of The Office, I'd go with that.
Well, The Office, I just don't find it funny. I mean, I don't find it funny at all.
I love it.
So I'm gonna say Friends. You're saying?
We're obviously talking about the American version of The Office. I'm gonna say Friends.
Yeah.
That, like I said, if it was the UK version of The Office, I would have to go with The Office. But
I don't think I've ever seen the UK.
I've seen it.
Version.
It's
See, I'm not a big fan of British humor either, so I don't know.
I'm a huge fan of British humor.
All right. Question number 5. Ooh, I knew this question would be coming up. Would you rather drown to death or burn to death? There's no doubt for my answer for this one. 2 of the worst ways imaginable to die, but
Probably burn.
you'd rather burn to death?
I mean, burning would take quicker for you to die than drowning because you're still trying to.
No, drowning's, as soon as your lungs fill up with water, as soon as you inhale once, it's over. Burning, you got to sit there and listen and see your skin sizzling and burn. And no.
At least, well, I guess considering when you're drowning, you're falling to the bottom of the.
Not necessarily. Get drowned in the bathtub.
Oh, yeah.
Hell, what's his name from Friends? Drowned in his hot tub.
But to be fair, he was high, so.
He was high. I'm going to go with drown to death because it's quicker.
That was me thinking. Well, because I'm thinking there will also be smoke getting into your lungs as well.
Yep.
And you're screwed that way.
Yep.
Because even when you're drowning to death, you're still kind of. Your lungs are doing this automatic thing where they're trying to get air, but they can't.
Right.
So that feels painful.
I'm still going with I'd rather drown to death than burn. I mean, I don't want either one of those two of the worst ways imaginable to die, but
maybe, you know what? Maybe. Yeah, probably drown actually, because that does seem just a teensy bit quicker.
So you're gonna change your answer to drown?
Yeah, that seems a little bit quicker than.
All right, that was Would You Rather.
You have 2 options. You either jump in a freezing cold water and you probably have another 5 minutes until you die, or stay out in the freezing cold and die in a matter of 2 minutes. What would you do?
Well, that's a good question because it can get that cold out to where your lungs start to freeze. I don't.
But if you go underwater, you have a sliver.
I'm going to go for option 3 and stay the hell out of Russia. That's
the better decision there.
That's what I'm going to go for. Well, that was 8 minutes worth of stuff.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Ring the bell down below so you know when we put out content. Content normally goes out on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. We throw a live podcast or 2 every month. And as of right now, we're recording this. And hope to see you guys soon. So this is Penguin and
Sigma
saying be somebody important, be yourself. Peace out.